Hello everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood Ahmed Al-Duri here. Oh boy, I'm a bit hyped up on caffeine, and that's just perfect for this topic, today's topic. Okay, so let's just jump right to have you ever just opened up your sketchbook to a blank page, or maybe it's just a blank canvas in Photoshop or whatever program you use. I don't know why you would use anything but Photoshop. Whatever, Cynics, you and your Corel painter. All right, so blank page, you're staring at it and you're like, what should I draw? What should I draw? And you start asking people, hey, what should I draw? What am I supposed to draw? Should I, do this, do that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'd say, that's a good question. So I've come up with 3 different categories of things you could do. Now, it's going to be broken down into the first category being warm-ups, and then the second category being your interests, and then the third category being focused studies or learning technical skills. So, you could pick either one. But I'd say if you're opening up your sketchbook or your blank piece of paper or digital piece or whatever, you could just say warm-ups, right? So, the thing about this is like, make a list of things you could do, like drawing circles or ellipses or 3D cubes, shapes, hands, faces, whatever is in front of you. And the thing is, when you're doing warm-ups, there's no pressure to make it amazing. There's no requirements or rules, or just do it, even if it sucks. So I've already made a couple of videos on how I warm up. I would do hands for a while, and then sometimes I'll do 3-dimensional shapes with lighting on them, and whether they're cubes or cylinders. And so that's the first category. And this is the one that I'd suggest just giving it a shot, just to start with, right? And when you're warming up, something happens where the motor controls of your hand sort of connect with the sort of synergy with your brain, right? Hold up, I got a message on Overwatch. Nope, not playing right now. I have to record this video. And so that's the first category. Second category, and by the way, you don't have to do this in order, but is to draw your interests, right? So it's like, okay, well, some people ask me, well, what should I draw? It's like, well, I can't answer that for you. It's like you coming up to me and asking me what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. I can't answer that for you. And so follow your own interests, your own desires to sort of have as a influence for your creative process. And if you don't know what your interests are, just make a list, start writing, make an image board of what you like and what you don't like. That's very helpful, because then you could say, well, for sure I don't want to draw dragons and swords. Some people might think they have to draw some certain genre or whatever, but really it's up to you. If you don't want to draw cute kawaii characters, you don't have to. Nobody can regulate what you can or should draw, because it should be an authentic expression of you, even if you think people will judge you or not like it, right? So whatever it is, it might be fantasy, anatomy studies, sci-fi, forest characters, whatever it might be. There's no right or wrong answer, and nobody has a right to control what you like or what you're interested in. And so don't avoid your interest, because if you're going to do things that will result in like expressing your most authentic desires, then go for it. Unless you're going to do something that you end up in jail for. That's a different subject. But take up responsibility, figure out what you like. Don't wait for me or someone else to tell you to draw a specific thing. Don't force yourself to draw something just for likes or fame either, because that will drain your soul. So it can be your own characters, your own story, fan art, random ideas, exploration, going into the unknown. But have some kind of solid starting point and foundation of like, okay, well, I love these things and I don't love those things. And so allow yourself to reference, the things that you've grouped together by your own self-proclamation, saying you like those things. So, do that. And this takes me to the third part, which is focused studies or, learning technical skills. This is the third category. Because I really know how frustrating it is to have an active and creative imagination. You have all these cool ideas for characters and storylines and key scenes and storyboards and maybe like animations or animatics, but you might not be able to draw it or make it a reality. It's just stuck in your imagination. This is where you also have to take up responsibility and learn how to do it. and the thing is, another frustrating aspect of that is it might come to other people easier, right? And that's okay, all right? It's not really a race in that regard, you know. If you're interested in doing art for a job, by the way, I'd recommend having some kind of backup job or something that you can do to stay alive and feed yourself, to be sort of pragmatic, and then learn and master the stuff that you love on the side, because it's not, you know, not everybody's going to succeed in being a creative in this world, because, you know, it's very competitive, it's very tough. But I mean, the fact that you're, you know, even watching this video implies that you have a creative side to you and you want to express that. So you know, going into technical studies is very necessary to do the things you love. And you just have to be willing to put in the effort. You know, don't be discouraged or resentful towards others who are already there, you know, or who have it easier, you know, because like, although your emotions might be justified in hating them, it's a waste of time and energy that could be put into your own journey. And you want your journey to be fueled with positive energy and the initial excitement you felt when you were first enjoying art, movies, games, comics, whatever, you know, especially when you're like a child. So what are the technical skills? I kind of went on a tangent there. You know, it could be perspective, lighting, anatomy, figure, portraits, faces, color theory, composition, master studies, observational things like, you know, drawing whatever's in front of you. You might be trying to study appeal. Sorry, I keep getting these texts. And there's so many more things. And also, that's another thing that you have to take up responsibility for, and figuring out what it is you need. It's one thing to kind of have like a drawing and then ask someone like, what do I need? Like, sure, it's good to ask for crit, but one of the greatest skills that you can develop in this industry or in this kind of world of illustration, drawing, concept design, is to be able to use critical thinking and figure it out for yourself. You know, I'd say my main advice about this is to stop waiting for someone to come hold your hand every step of the way. You know, be able to strengthen your own critical thinking skills, because that's extremely valuable. Allow yourself to fail a lot, because that's definitely a part of the process. And then obviously there's so many more, let's say, avenues of learning nowadays. Like when I was learning, there was no YouTube, there was no classes that you could take online. You know, there might have been like a couple PDFs like by Loomis that you could sort of read, right? So the reason I'm able to kind of break things down on my own is because I just had nobody to depend on, right? So develop that as a skill. So going back to the beginning of sort of what we're talking about for this whole video is, when you have the sketchbook open, you have these three options. You could warm up, which I do all the time before I start drawing the stuff that I'm really interested in. And then the second category is drawing your interests, and the third category is the technical skills. And yeah, you know, I hope that helped. I tried to cover as many things as I could, but I basically just narrowed it down to these three things. So let me know how you feel about this. Maybe there's something I missed. If you have other ideas of what you should draw, you know, definitely, because we've all been there. We've all been in dark places where, like, well, I don't know what to do. I want to draw this character, but I don't know how to draw figures. I want to do this, but somebody else already did it. And you know, you might be feeling a lot of pressure to perform or make perfect, beautiful art. And you know, you got to allow yourself to fail. You might have millions of thoughts trying to beat you up, you know, and prevent you from making anything. And you'll be in a kind of paralysis with your pencil hovering over a blank page. You know, it sucks. Don't let your critical mind destroy your creativity. Your critical mind is the enemy in this case. So it will try to stop you at all costs, you know. You know, if you asked yourself, like, why shouldn't I draw? I mean, your brain could come up with so many reasons not to draw or not to explore. Things like, oh, you're not good enough. Other people are better and faster. It's too late. Someone already thought of this idea. You don't have the right tools. Your art won't be popular. All these silly ideas. They're seemingly justifiable, but you got to throw those out. You know, when these thoughts come to you, write them down and get them out of your head. Get them out of your head, because they do not belong there. So yeah, that's kind of. Oh, one last thing. When you are doing studies or drawing things from your own interests or whatever you're doing, you know, because I always encourage doing master studies and like learning from other artists, but don't copy other people's art and designs and claim it as if it's your own, ever. Fan art is one thing, and that's a subject that would require its own video, but to take someone else's design, art, or intellectual property and claim it as your own original idea or art is absolutely reprehensible. You just don't do it, you know. People have done it to me, and it's like, you know, I'm not going to I'm not too much of a stickler, but if you start like claiming it as if you did it and you're selling it, that's really annoying, and it doesn't reflect well on our whole art community. We have to have a good, I'd say, positive vibe to really uphold this. So if you do a master study and you want to show it, be sure to say somewhere that it's a study. Credit is important. I might have forgotten to do this because of offhand things or whatever, but I personally would never steal an idea or drawing and wave it around for accolades and praise. If I do, feel free to call me out on it, etc. Blah 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 blah. All right, that was a bit quick. I hope that was helpful, and yeah, just keep going. I'll see you next time.